All right. Some background music. Check, check, check. Did I tweet the wrong URL? Oh, I did tweet out the wrong URL.
Everybody feeling good, a contagious kind of feeling. All you fellas get a girl, go ahead, ladies, grab a man. Do it. Take your lovely hand and put it on his hand. If that floor's gon' switch the flow, my flow so remarkable. My timing's impeccable, my team is so respectable. Turquoise Jeep, yup, good to go. We ever gonna stop? No, 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 no. Got the head spin around like a merry-go. And this another hit you already know.
Yeah, sorry guys. Apparently I was hacked on the Twitter. All right. So today on the show we're going to talk about what I want to do with the Diamond Club money. We're going to talk about the most overlooked man on the internet today. And it's a big one. This dude has inspired tremendous praise and is getting no credit for it. He is in service to his liege lord. Also, I was thinking about doing a thing with like an NPR rant. It's not going to be a new character on the show. But anyway, so there was a little thing at the farmer's market today. Because I usually record this right after we come back from the farmer's market. And there was a little fun thing today. Tell me how the sound sounds, because I really want to apologize that the sound sounded like shit last week. Because I went back and listened to it. By the way, if anybody who is listening to this, you can now get this on iTunes and RSS. Let me actually get that RSS link so we have it rocking and rolling here. Feed burner. All right. Goddamn pop-out chat. Oh, there we go. You guys already got it. You're better than me. But that's not news. Well, all right, here. Tell me, this is just the voice. Tell me if this is low. Is this low? Check, check, check. Voice sounds good. No, yeah, I mean, I have the music low. For some reason, it's only coming in on one ear, so I'm going to double it in. I'm going to double the channel in what's it called, in GarageBand as I export it, which is what I did with all the new episodes. So now all the episodes you download on podcast are optimized, including there were some that had like the music super loud, and like especially ones where I was talking to Brett and Katie, I bumped that audio way up. So now it sounds way better. But just let me know here now, and I'm going to be tinkering with this a lot more as we go forward. Now that I can, and now that I have the room to do it. But yeah, we're gonna get started in a couple seconds. Let me know. The other thing is this fucking chat room. You want to know what? What do you say? Would anybody object to going to the unfiltered chat room just because I trust it a lot more? Like the Justin TV chat just constantly shits out. Is anybody all right? So if you don't object, hashtag unfiltered. All right. Okay. Here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. Uh, yeah, and I'm fine. I'll leave both open, but sometimes the JTV chat room just stops, and like I don't know whether or not it's something with the the chat itself. So I'll leave both open so people can chat. But I do like having the unfiltered one there. All right. Well, if everything sounds good to y'all, then we're gonna get this bitch started. Uh, and I'm gonna need your guys' help. I'm gonna need your guys' help. This is gonna be a very collaborative episode. The live experience is going to be the experience that you want to have for this particular episode, because this could be the start of something really fun. So yeah, if you're in the JTV chat room, you can stay in the JTV chat room. Otherwise, if you want to go to Unfiltered, go to Unfiltered. I just want Unfiltered open and know that I will be in Unfiltered as well, just so I can watch and just kind of make sure that it's still running. All right. Here we go. This is going to be the beginning of this week's JuRY podcast. Check, check, check. Let me make sure that this. All right, here we go. I just want to make sure that was picking up. This is a song about xenophobia.
Johnny's in America, no tricks at the wheel. Johnny's in America. Johnny wants a brain. Johnny wants to suck on the coke. Johnny wants a woman. Johnny wants to think of a joke. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. Johnny's in America. Johnny looks up at the stars. Johnny combs his hair and Johnny wants to see in cars. Johnny's in America. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. Yeah, I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. God is an American. God is an American. God is an American.
On the day that we met on the internet, I asked her for a photograph.
Oh, doctor. Ladies and germs, welcome to Let Alone. Let Alone, yet another. If I may please ask your permission to board another JuRY podcast. My name is Justin Robert Young. This is the live stream and now podcast. Folks, we have come to the realm of podcasting. Oh, man, I've been doing this for about almost a year now, and I finally got around to doing this as a podcast because I feel like it's reached. It's there. It is that time. It has finally come to age where I feel comfortable putting it out there. So now, if you enjoy this live stream, you watch this live stream, but maybe you're not able to catch it, JuRYTalks.com is where the website's going to be, or is right now. You can go there now. Go to iTunes. Just search Justin Robert Young. Should come right up there. Or if you are one who hates that old-fashioned iTunes magic, then go on over to feeds.feedburner.com/JuRYTalks/PIHI. That's lowercase p, uppercase IHI. And that's pretty much the last time I'm ever going to say that, because otherwise you can just go to, I'll put up links on the website and everything. So that'll be the way that you can get it. On this edition of the program, man, we got some awesome stuff. We got some really stuff. Really awesome stuff. Number one, there has always been an element of the Diamond Club experience, okay, that I thought could be a little bigger and better. All right? And really, I mean, I guess bigger and better might not even be the words. Also, later in this episode, we're going to get to the most underappreciated man on the internet. And boy, this guy has maybe the biggest news story on the internet. He has hit so many touchstones that it has ignited a firestorm around him. And yet, he gets none of the credit. None. Zero. If anybody can guess it in the chat right now, which if you are listening to this on podcast, because now we are talking to two audiences. If you are listening to this on podcast, every Saturday we record this podcast live. Everybody watches live, so if I'm talking to people in the chat room, that's who I'm talking to. If anybody can name it, this person, the most underappreciated man on the internet right now as we record this at 4:57 Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, January 12th. If you can name it, then I will just go right into that story. Is it Alex Jones? No, not Alex Jones. I believe he is correctly appreciated right now on the internet. But I want to talk about the Diamond Club. For those of you who don't know, quick setup on the Diamond Club. Ash, can you hand me the book? It's right there in between the Japanese Steve Jobs biography. There we go. Okay. This is a physical copy of a book we like to call The Diamond Club. This was not written by me. It was written by Patricia Harkins Bradley. In reality, it was written by the Diamond Club itself, the Diamond Club being fans of the NSFW show, fans of Scam School, fans of Frame Rate, fans of this show, the nation for which this galaxy of programming has sprung up around. On NSFW, we had an idea to do this this here book. What we wanted to do was have a book where it would be erotic fiction with characters that would appear throughout, no coherent plot, but double down on the smuttiness. And we put it up as an ebook, as kind of an experiment to see if people would buy a $1 ebook in the wake of 50 Shades of Grey that was literally just smut. It did well. It did extraordinarily well. It did amazingly well. We wound up making a bunch of money on it, a lot of which we spent on a gigantic party at DragonCon. But it made so much that after all the expenses in printing books, in paying John Tilton to collate this thing, in paying, and listen, this party was not cheap. Absolutely. We had to rent a room. We had to cater it. We had to have drink tickets and booze. It was a pricey thing. But at the end of all of it, there was a little money afterward. My cut of that money was roughly $3,000. Now, I've made no secret when I've talked about it that I kind of feel like that money is haunted. In that, like, yeah, we had the idea and we did it, but I don't feel right just taking it and pocketing it. Now, people have told me I don't begrudge, anybody who has told me that, hey, listen, that's stupid. You guys worked hard on it. You pimped the crap out of it. You guys put your own reputations on the line. You organized it. It was your guys' idea. You should get paid for it. And I get that. Yes. But I just kind of feel like the entire experience could be done just a service if we also gave a bunch of this money to charity, right? But it's a cop-out just to say, hey, I like this charity. Let me sign on the dotted line and pass it over. And I kind of feel like it's not what you guys deserve. It is not what Chat Realm deserves. It is not what the Diamond Club and the people who really supported this book and really upvoted it on Reddit when we first launched and really wrote these chapters, what you guys deserve. You deserve better. Epic Happy says, Justin, you should disclose where the money went. What did Brian do with his? Now, right now, I will disclose to you where my money is. It is in my PayPal account. What I will do with it is what we are talking about. What Brian did with it is, listen, you got to understand. Brian is in a far different situation than I am. I live in an apartment with another person who's splitting rent with me, and have literally no other expenses. Brian has a tremendous Brian Brushwood, for anybody who might not be aware of who I'm talking about, who was my co-host in NSFW and my co-conspirator in this whole Diamond Club experience. He's got a lot. He's got an infrastructure. And also, to do a lot of this stuff, a lot of this internet stuff, he's had to basically sacrifice his dates out on the road. So between him doing this stuff and paying people and with a new daughter on the way, what he did is continue to stay afloat to give you guys the content that you so enjoy. And I don't think that should be begrudged at all. What I'm going to do with it, because I am in a different situation, is something different. And it hit me yesterday. I was talking to my friend and roommate, Healthy Addict, Ashley Paramore, youtube.com/Healthy Addict, plug. And the idea has kind of always been in my head of schools that'd be really, 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 really cool to give it to kids on some level. But what I think is anticlimactic about charity donations, and specifically this charity donation, in what was such an interactive experience, is that you don't just want to throw it into the black hole of need. I'm not saying that if we gave it to a charity that they wouldn't be able to do great things with it, but we don't know what those things are. We can't really follow it. And in this internet age of itemization and transparency, I don't know if that plays, which would be an industry term. I don't know if it is the bang for the buck that I think we need with this. Snowshoe says in the chat room, so donating directly rather than through a charity. So that became the idea. What if we found a school and just randomly gave them that $3,000? Which got me thinking, okay, all right. If we were going to give a school $3,000, who would we give that $3,000 to? And this is where I need the help of everybody listening. My idea was this, and through very rudimentary Google searching, I found, according to the last U.S. Census, the poorest county in America. The poorest county in America is in South Dakota. In that county, there is one school, a school that services the students of the poorest county in America, grades K through high school graduation. The total attendance of that entire school is 300 people, 300 kids, from the kindergartners to the guys who are about ready to leave and go into the world as adults. 300. What if we just dropped $3,000 on that school? That would be pretty dope, right? That would be like a really, because they're in the poorest county in America. You got to figure they've gotten the shitty end of the stick, like, pretty much every which way but loose. So this is what I need, because now I need to open the hood, because I don't know whether or not this is a great idea. This is just an idea. We're whiteboarding here, but this is where I think we want to go. And Tess, who is in the chat room and has written that she is a special a special education teacher, says you need to contact their board, but it would be amazing. So this is what I need to know before I contact them, because also I'm inherently distrustful about systems and the inherent inefficiencies in systems. So I don't just want to, because I don't want to hand it just to a charity, because then I don't know where that money's actually going. I also don't want to hand it to just a school and have it go to the principal or whatever. I want to know where that money is going. So here's what I need from you guys is I need to know what the best way that I can give this money to a school as a private donation and have it exactly either earmarked so they buy it, or should I buy it for them? This is what I need to know from you guys. So this is going to be something we'll do over the next couple weeks. I'm sure we'll talk about it on NSFW show as well. But go ahead and email me. If you know about these kind of situations, email me, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. What I want to do it, I want it to be educational. I want it to be as if they had a list of like, oh my God, this place would be awesome. The kids could get so much out of it if only we had blank, and say how much of all that would $3,000 fix for 300 kids. So that's what we're looking to do. But see that Jay Lusk is he is the voice inside my head. Jay Lusk in the chat room right now. He is the voice, the little voice inside my head. Talk to a teacher directly. Administration's gonna squander it. It's gonna squander all the money. You're gonna give them the money, and they're gonna squander it on hookers and blow. Yeah. And that's what, number one, that's what my inner monologue sounds like. And also, I want to make sure that it is done for the greater good. And really, I guess the line is, do I buy stuff and just send it to them, or do we give it to the school and let them decide? And so there we go. And really, it would be really awesome if Chat Realm, if Diamond Club became like the biggest booster in history to this, the poorest school in America. It is the shittiest school in America by the numbers. And we are going to dump a fat load of sunshine right in their pockets. That would be fucking awesome. I think that would fucking rule. And really, the only other thing past that is like, I mean, I feel like if it's the poorest school in America and we're giving them a bunch of money, no matter where that money, I mean, like, it's a pretty harmless prank. And also, we're legit. We've been on NPR. I mean, I feel like, they couldn't refuse the money, right? Like that. I mean, these are the questions I need answered. I need answered the questions of, I mean, will they take it? They have to take it, right? Ashley's saying no, they don't have to take it. I mean, if they don't take it, that's a story in and of itself, right? I feel like if they don't take it, we should still try to give it to them because something needs to change. If a benevolent thousandaire can't give them $3,000 to help the kids in, by the numbers, the most educational need in America, then what the fuck are we doing? For real. What the fuck is happening if I can't give $3,000 to the poorest fucking kids in America? I'm getting worked up. And I don't even know whether it's true. They could just take the money and be like, oh, thank God. What? It's from a book of fake erotica? Yeah, sure. That's legit. Would you like a t-shirt? Which I do want a t-shirt. Whatever school we're going to give it to, I want a t-shirt. And a hat. And tickets to their football games, even if I don't ever go to one. I want a seat at their football games. 50-yard line, a good seat. Don't fuck with me on bullshit seats. I'm giving you $3,000. So there we go. That's the idea. If you are involved in the education system, email me, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Now, I haven't said the county and I haven't said the school, even though I have one in mind, because I want to get all these things figured out before I start saying it, because then if something's fucked up or something and we want to go with another school, then I don't want it to be like, well, why didn't you give it to that school? So that's the idea. That's the idea. That I don't know. Do you guys think that's cool? I mean, like, I really want to know whether or not you guys think that this is a good idea. Now, I want to talk to you guys real quick about the most underappreciated man in America. Or sorry, on the internet right now. People in the chat room seem pretty pumped about this idea here. People seem to think it's a pretty good idea. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine if you were somebody who very, 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 very much loved the internet community. You're like all of us. If you are watching me right now, then you are somebody who is invested in this, the community of the internet. It has its certain leanings. It has its disagreements. It has its favorites. It is this village we call internet. And therefore, because your priorities are of the internet, you have a greater value for recognition from the internet. And in your heart of hearts, you really do imagine that you would squee with joy and amazement if you were just for one day to have the internet look at your work and your writing and say, you're fucking awesome. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're the best. I love you. You've made us all smile. And then all the Reddits and all the Twitters and the Facebooks would alight. They would all pop on as if somebody plugged in a big, beautiful Christmas tree. They would all alight with the magic of what you've done. Your muse would make so many sing in such a chorus that it would melodically hum and reverberate throughout these tubes that we call the internet. And then the squares, yes, the normies, the sound would be so loud that the normies would take notice. It would reverberate outside our insular valley and into the hills and dales that have been set up as our popular culture destinations. It would make the front pages of those shitty websites that your grandmother accidentally goes to, like Yahoo and Comcast. It would be on the front page, and even them, even those who have never, ever, ever logged on to the internet to have a good time and connect with other people would look at it and read it in the most cursory USA Today summation of the events and say, that, yes, that's awesome. Now imagine that all happened to one man. All of it. His love for the internet, his beautiful writing, the oceans and oceans and oceans of praise, the recognition from those outside of the community. That all happened today. Except the praise wasn't for him. The praise was for his boss. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to Paul Shawcross. Yes, Paul Shawcross. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Shawcross. Paul Shawcross. Super Dave, never heard of him. Snowshoe, Paul Shawcross? His name was Paul Shawcross. Paul Shawcross wrote a response to, all right, somebody's got it. Big fat bonus star to Sapir, who says he's the Death Star petition response guy. There's a thing going around the internet today because on the White House page, when Obama came in, what he wanted to do was have a conversation with the people. So we had a petition site, and there is a petition site, which is by and large useless. It's that people write petitions like, yo, I want to smoke weed tomorrow, and then it gets upvoted a million times, and at a certain threshold, the White House has to respond to it. And normally it's a perfunctory kind of response. It's like, marijuana smoking is illegal. You can't smoke weed. Sorry, bro. But there has been a lot of tongue-in-cheek ones. In fact, it was on this website that inspired the petition to deport Piers Morgan, which brought Alex Jones on the Piers Morgan Show, which brought us that amazing interview. And if you want to watch that, watch this week's NSFW show. Me and Brian go all over it. It's the best thing ever. But one of the petitions was, we want to build a Death Star. We want to build a Death Star. Now, obviously this is a joke, but more importantly, it's a Star Wars joke, which makes it that much more important here in the Village Internet. And it was crackling lightning news when it was revealed that the White House has responded. The White House has responded. Now, I'm going to read to you just the beginning. The administration shares your desire for job creation and strong national defense, but a Death Star isn't on the horizon, and here are a few reasons. The construction of the Death Star has been estimated to cost more than a gigantic number. We're working hard to reduce the deficit, not expand it. Another bullet point, the administration does not support blowing up planets. Another bullet point, why would we spend countless taxpayer dollars on a Death Star with a fundamental flaw that can be exploited by a one-man starship? And then it goes into, I think, a very, very eloquent explanation of what we are doing in space, and it's littered with Star Wars jokes, except for this one part that says that we are living in the future. And obviously, Star Wars is a story about a galaxy far, far away, long time ago. Okay? So what we should be doing is living in the past and not in the future, Paul Shawcross. Thank you. But this thing has gone viral in the most viral possible way. And nobody is talking about Paul Shawcross. Because he, my friends, is a vassal writing under the grand tutelage of his liege lord. So what you have seen today, much in the same way that when Lost was good, everybody said, "Oh, you're awesome, J.J. Abrams," instead of "You're awesome, Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse," who were actually doing it. Everybody said, "Oh, Obama's the best. Oh, Obama's the best. Look, he wrote this great Star Wars thing. Oh, Obama, what do you say we all go down to Star Wars Celebration and get matching Rebel Alliance tattoos?" And meanwhile, Paul Shawcross sits watching this all explode. How many more Twitter followers do you think fucking Paul Shawcross has gotten? Rabid Badger in the chat room says, "Don't be an asshole. No one thinks Obama actually wrote it. Sheesh." So then why was it that when I said Paul Shawcross, it was crickets? An echoing cricket symphony. It's not to say that I don't like Obama. I'm just saying that I want to shed light on Paul Shawcross. My point is that this isn't about Obama. DJM says not as many Twitter followers as A.G. McCarron's girlfriend got, and yet he should. Paul Shawcross should be the Catherine Webb of geeks and nerds on this today, on Saturday. Can we find does Paul Shawcross have a Twitter? Let's go ahead and look. Let's find Paul Shawcross Twitter. There's Paul Shawcross UK. I don't think that's the Paul Shawcross that we're looking for. No. I'm just saying that dude deserves more attention. That dude deserves his respect. That dude deserves this credit. And I don't think he's getting it. I don't think he's getting it. And I'm not saying that it's odd or nefarious that Obama's getting credit for this. This is what happens. It comes from the White House. He's the boss of the White House. That's where the S rolls downhill and credit pools at the top of the mountain. That's what happens in any system. So I don't think this is about that per se. I don't think it's a negative thing toward Obama. I'm just saying Paul Shawcross. Paul Shawcross, my friends. Shawcross it up. Be a little Shawcross today. Write like your Shawcross depended on it. Hey, everybody, buy Shawcross once, get 2 Shawcrosses for free. That man is the Star Wars fucking hero of the day. He is the internet starling. His Star Wars references are Catherine Webb's titties of the nerd community. That's what I'm saying. Give the man a little credit. Throw another log on the fire for Paul fucking Shawcross. All right. Juice says, Paul Shawcross is a redcoat. Alex Jones. All right. There was one more thing that I wanted to talk about today. Oh, yeah. I was at the farmer's market. And I was in line at the ATM, and there were these people behind me that were like, I could just hear their voices, and I could imagine what they would look like. And it's like, the first thing they say, I hated first grade. Guy and a girl says this. Guy says, I hated first grade. Girl says, oh, me too. Do you guys remember first grade? This is what I'm saying to my head. I'm imagining coming live later in the day and talking to you guys. And they go on and on. They have this whole conversation about how first grade sucked because kindergarten was so awesome. And like, number one, I mean, I would be hard-pressed to remember my first grade teacher. And I don't know what. And then I turned around. This dude's got a gray beard. Like, he's got like a big, fat, gray beard coming out. And I'm like, what the fuck else has happened in your life? What kind of empty husk of an existence do you have that not only do you still remember first grade, but you remember first grade sucking? You remember being like, oh, this sucks. Didn't even know what the fuck sucks in first grade? What else do you have to compare it to? Like, what? It's just another thing. Like, until you're like 10, you really have no context of like, I mean, you might want to always just eat and sleep, right? But is it that bad? And also, like, what the fuck do you even do in first grade? You draw, you paint. It's basically kindergarten. It's not like you go from like kindergarten, eating, sleeping, playing dodgeball, or not even dodgeball, fucking ring around the rosy and duck duck goose, and then first grade is weapons training. Like calculus and weapons training. That's what you do in first grade. Or like it's Sparta. It's like, oh, you go from being nursed by your mother to now kill 2 other students from your class. And only those who survive get to go to the second semester of first grade. It just blew my mind. Like, and really, it made me not like them. And then I saw them again in the farmer's market, and I just wanted to look at them and be like, fucking who are you? Who the fuck are you? That's ridiculous. You don't appreciate life. I want to just get in their face. You need to appreciate life a little bit more. You need to let go of this first grade thing. Because you said it, and you, the girl, too. You, huh? Too fast, you agreed. You agreed too fast. You need to live life. You need to get out there and be somebody. Because this is all ridiculous. Let me just say, it's absolutely ridiculous. DJM says, my family has long-term memory. It's really good. I remember K first and second. I don't know. Refracted says, I can't even remember half my teachers, and I'm only 32. I mean, like, I remember big changes between elementary school and middle school. I remember big changes between middle school and high school. I remember big changes between high school and college. And I remember big changes between college and the real world. But I don't remember that big of a change between kindergarten and first grade. I'm sorry. Unless you were molested in the first grade, you shouldn't fucking remember first grade. A lot of other shit. Fill your fucking memory banks with other shit. There's a million things. A myriad of opportunities. You could grow up to work in the White House and write an amazingly viral essay that goes viral and everybody credits your boss for. You can do that. I bet you Paul Shawcross doesn't remember first grade. Paul Shawcross isn't going to the fucking Oakland Farmers Market saying first grade sucked. Fucking Shawcross. He's my man today. Shawcross, baby. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up for this edition of the JuRY Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully the audio is better in this episode than it was in the last episode. Hey, spread the word on this one. JuRYTalks.com. Go on iTunes and subscribe to the podcast. But we're gonna follow through on this one. And also, I don't know if we're gonna live stream it, but recording today, or tomorrow, probably today, the first, yes, yet untitled, Brett Rounsaville and Justin Robert Young podcast. Oh, oh, yeah. Now we're talking. The mountain rapist. He's gonna be out and about. So until next week, my name is Justin Robert Young. Your name is Chat Realm, and I do ask you, as a friend, that until we meet again, please do not die.
Just wanna hold you tight, but you're away from me. And most days see things, I wonder what you'd say if you'd agree with me. And you'd agree with me. Get my hand to squeeze and tell me that you never leave. I'd love to give you everything.
And I'll tell you what, as if by magic, Brett has actually just showed up. Look at that. We need to figure out another mic situation, though. Well, I would like to do it today, and I was thinking about having one of us. Yeah, I also think I figured out how to make that work. I figured out. I tinkered around with it a little bit today. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go. We're gonna figure this out. I love you guys. Bye.